The next random hexagram I'm going to focus on is the hexagram 7, which is called the army. I'm using this random method that may appear random. I'm just opening the book up and looking at whatever hexagram that comes up. But I have faith that somebody needs to hear what this particular hexagram means. I believe that the universe works through me and I work through the universe. And therefore, if I'm pulling these hexagrams up, somebody who's going to watch this video is going to need to know what that hexagram means. So rather than going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, I'm doing a random selection of hexagrams so that whoever needs to hear about it can hear about it. The 7th hexagram is called the army. And there are some hexagrams that are so cryptic that unless you experience it over and over again, it will be difficult to understand what is this hexagram talking about. And every hexagram is talking about something that we all need to know. When we toss the coins or the shells, we need to know what the hexagram is telling us. Sometimes we can't understand it because sometimes the hexagram appears cryptic. And it appears that way because we need to think a little deeper about what the oracle is saying. And I've said this many, many times. Deep thinking is very important when working with the oracle. We are sometimes in such a rush to get an answer, to get direction, or to get something that we don't stop and think deeply about what the oracle is saying and what is the message the oracle is giving us. What is our soul? Because the oracle is like a spokesperson for the soul. It's just telling us what our soul is telling us all along. Okay, so back to the 7th hexagram, the army. When you get the 7th hexagram, it is letting you know you're in a situation where you are surrounded by service people. People who can serve you in one way or another. They are rallying around you because you are the leader in that particular situation. So as a person in that situation, as a leader, you must be circumspect about who you put in the positions of power or give particular responsibilities to. Once you give someone a responsibility, they have power. They have power in that situation. So if you get the army and you're on your way to a meeting at work, then it's letting you know that the people that work with you are part of your established army. The word army is funny, but it's a part of your congregation. It's a part of your working, the people who work with you. It is telling you that you are among people who are working with you. Okay? And so it has a lot to do with the work ethic, but it has more to do with your ability to discern. I would call this the human, what do they call it? Human resource hexagram. And as a human resource manager, you have the responsibility of putting people in their prospective places who will do the best job that needs to be done. So you wouldn't put someone who is inadequate in a position of leadership over a particular department in your business. You would give that to someone who is qualified. And so it also is talking about being conscientious about the working group that's around you. And this can also mean your angels, your spirit guides, etc. But the army is also talking about your inner resources. you know, those things that you look for in yourself to help you to achieve a certain task in your life. And if you are adequately in employing these resources that you have within you to achieve a particular goal or objective. So the oracle said, you know, you're getting married and the oracle gives you 7. You're like, what does the army have to do with me getting married? I'm getting married, for crying out loud. Well, all of the people that you have enlisted to participate in the process, the project, the wedding project, all of those people are part of your army. They are your human resources. And it's your responsibility to put those people in the right places. Now, we also know that sometimes, you know, you may not be able to see clearly and make an error in judgment and put someone in a position that doesn't need to be there, or is not willing to do the work, or is not capable of doing the work. And then again, you need to be able to say to that person, listen, we need to remove you from the situation and bring in someone else. And of course, you want to find an effective and harmless way of making that happen. One of the best ways of making that work is taking responsibility yourself. I made this decision and I need to rescind my decision. It was an error in discernment on my part. And then begin from there. When you attack someone, then you create resistance. When you come to them acknowledging where you have made an error in your discernment, then that allows the other person to release their defenses, to bring their defenses down. And it allows them to be more receptive to this seed thought that you're planting in their minds. Okay, so that's 7, the army. Okay, I'm going to go to the next hexagram, which is the 6th hexagram, which precedes the 7th hexagram. And the 6th hexagram is conflict. And sometimes we'll get that hexagram and become very disturbed. What am I getting conflict for? I have found that we get the 6th hexagram when there's some inner turmoil about something. More profoundly even so than something outside of us. We may have a conflict of interest inside of our own nature, in our own being. And so we may take a job or get into a relationship or begin a project that is not necessarily about who we are about, that may require from us some things that we don't necessarily want to do or be involved in, but we do it thinking that, okay, I'll do this now, but you know, later on I'll be able to get out of it. And during the process of doing this thing that we are not feeling really like we want to do, the conflicts within self begin to arise. One of the reasons why conflict arises in self is because of our integrity to self. If we have made a departure from our own integrity, then we will have that battlefield going on inside of ourselves. We won't feel comfortable. We won't feel like we're getting anywhere. We'll complain a lot. We'll find fault in the situation. Instead of, coming back within self and seeing how we created the situation ourselves. And we are internally conflicted. So when you get conflict, you want to look and see what is it about that situation that is causing internal discord. If that's happening with you, then you're going to get the 6 hexagram guaranteed. Now, the lines talk about all this external stuff and this person and that person and stop arguing and da-da-da. And we know conflict is about that, you know. But it may mean also, and I have found in many, many cases, that there's an internal discord going on, an internal conflict of interest, where an individual has taken into their lives something that is not nurturing, supportive of their internal value systems. And so in that case, you may find yourself in a state of conflict. So we're talking about that. Why did I get the 6 hexagram when I asked about going to California? If you search your mind and you search your soul, you may find out that there are some things about being in California that affect you on an inner level, on an integral level, in your DNA, so to speak. And you are having some conflicts about making that choice. It may be a great job, great house, great, you know, all the things are falling together in terms of going out to California. So you ask about that, you get conflict, and you're like, what the? Everything is moving, everything's flowing nicely. I'm going with the flow. I'm going to California. However, inside of you is where the search needs to begin in terms of how you really, really feel about a situation. When you get conflict, search within. How do you really feel about it? Are you at peace with the situation? And that's what the Oracle is expressing in this hexagram as I see it. In the hexagram 6, conflict. Thank you for watching these videos. I appreciate the time that you've taken out of your life to listen, learn, watch, and study the I Ching with me. My name is Namaste, and I can be reached at namaste@gmail.com. And if you're interested in getting a workshop, I'm available for workshops. And if you're interested in getting a personal reading, I'm also available to do that as well. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Peace and blessings to you, your family, and loved ones.